September 16th, 2019. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan and Raj Giri to talk about Monday Night Raw. In the build-up to Hell in a Cell, The Fiend was all over tonight's show. There was a gender reveal segment for Maria Kanellis' unborn child. So much happened tonight. Raj, welcome back. After skipping most of Clash of the Champions, how did tonight play for you on Raw?
I was going to watch Clash earlier today, and I started watching it, and I was like, man, it's just boring. I could not get into it, so never watched it. Yeah, I feel like I'm all caught up, even though I missed a whole pay-per-view, but that's WWE these days. But I don't know, I thought tonight was kind of boring, but Bray Wyatt, I'm always happy seeing him, but that was about it.
Yeah, and we have a new King of the Ring that was announced tonight. There's a lot to cover. Matt, last night we were optimistic, leaving Clash of the Champions, talking about Bray Wyatt as the Fiend attacking Seth Rollins. What is this going to mean going up to Hell in a Cell? Tonight, Bray was all over this show. How did that play for you?
That's why they got to be careful with his character and gimmick. At the very end, sometimes where there's pauses like that, dramatic pauses with him creeping up closer and closer to Seth Rollins' face, they should have went to black right as he got up to the face. Instead, they made us uncomfortable, not in a good way, not in a, oh, shoot, I'm scared, this is Freddy Krueger type scary crap type of way. Cartoon song at the end that did nothing to me except for, do they know they're still on the air? That's what I kept saying to my wife. I go, this is like a minute and a half of not me feeling weird, not me feeling scared by this guy. Do you know what I mean? And to their credit, they're still figuring this out. This is super out of the box for them to produce. But it's also why they need to be very careful with him, because that corniness now gets thrown on him. He got a little on him tonight with that, in my opinion. And that's a shame. But still, it still didn't outweigh, in my opinion, perfect use of Kane. Great use of Kane. If nobody could have seen the Fiend feeding him his hand at the end of the night, and you guys have not been watching pro wrestling long enough, as soon as they went to Glenn Jacobs, talking about historic district. We have a historic district here in Longwood, by the way, for the record. And the fact that he started selling it, I started dying laughing. And you couldn't see where that was going. I was like, they're not bringing him back to use him part of the 24/7 gimmick. He's going to be eating Bray Wyatt's hand, mandible claw, by the end of the night, and as well as he should. And good for him for being cool enough to come back and do that. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, I don't know how Hall of Famers act because I ain't no Hall of Famer, but I would imagine they're pretty conscientious on how they're used now that they're done wrestling. You know, if they come back, it's got to be against Undertaker. If they come back, it's got to be for the title. If they come back, it's got to be pyro out the yin yang or whatever. You know, I would think. Yeah. And him going, nope, I'm going to get this young kid over tonight. No problem.
And Kane with the mask and everything, he still looks the same. He doesn't look like this big out of shape guy or anything like that. He looks exactly the same.
No, he always does. You're right, man.
Yeah. And a hell of a night, 24/7 champion in the segments with our truth.
One quick thing. I got to give. I'm never going to get a chance again on the show because Kane doesn't wrestle. But there's another reason why you got to give the guy kudos. It's another. What you just said right there, Raj, is another testament on a drug-free athlete. The majority of that dude's career that I know, like he's always steroid-free. Even during a time when it wasn't so popular to be steroid-free in that company, he always was. And everyone's like, no, you can't be. There's no way he could be. And everyone's like, no, the ones that really knew him for a long time, like, no, he's like farm boy strong. Like he's legit farm boy strong. And he doesn't mess with that stuff. His diet's immaculate. And look at him at what age is he? He looked bigger and better than any of the other big guys.
Yeah. I mean, he must be 50 something now.
52 years old.
52,
that's what it looks like when you're natural.
Yeah.
7 feet tall.
Friggin' still a monster, legit.
As a kid, I was watching him as the dentist, and he was, and that was the drug, the drug-free era.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was huge. Yeah, he was the biggest guy there.
Yeah.
Shocked. Kane will never be able to run for president because he was born in Spain.
Really?
According to Wikipedia.
Well, John McCain was born.
Maybe he was born on a base.
Yeah.
Because,
there you go.
Yeah, and also Wikipedia listed me the other day playing at Georgia Tech. I was a Yellow Jacket somehow. What the freak?
Oh, so there you go. There is an Air Force base there.
Wikipedia is not always accurate, guys.
I take that back. President Kane 2020. Make it happen.
There's that line from The Office where he's like, anyone can update Wikipedia, so you have the best information. But, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's an army base, so he should be able to.
Well, there you go. You think 2020 he runs, or you think he waits? 2024?
He's not running.
Just make a conversation, man. It's a podcast.
Oh, he's not running.
I don't see him running.
Yeah, you never know, right?
He's a smart guy.
He's not.
Given the current state of the world, I don't take anyone being elected president off the table. It could literally be anyone.
And I'm telling you, I've talked. He's not. He's taking care of his county.
Do you guys have like a secret wrestler politics thing? I mean, does like when Rhino wants
numbers and stuff? That is the only time we text each other. Is like when one of us win or something big has happened, and it makes Fox News or something like that. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I was just on Fox News last week.
Really?
We sold a multi-million-dollar dog track. It was a big deal here in the city. They voted against no more dog racing in the county. And we have a very expensive track here. We sold the property, which is a big deal for our city. It'll turn our city completely around with what we built out of that now.
Wow. Do people go to dog racing? Is that still like a thing?
I have no clue. They do. I didn't.
I don't know.
I'm very intrigued by it, but others are.
I mean, the horses, you go, you drink mint juleps. It's classy. You sit in the box with your binoculars.
I did that in OVW. We used to get invited every year to those horse races in Louisville once a year. You'd see like Kid Rock, Pam Anderson, all these like really cool celebrities.
Absolutely. But dog racing seems like degenerate gamblers.
When you've run out of stuff to bet on.
Yeah. It's like if only chicken fights were legal. Anyhow, back to Raw tonight. We opened the show. What did we open with? Seth Rollins came out, gave a shout out to Braun Strowman, his tag team partner, who he lost the titles with last night to Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Gave mad props. Jesus, I love this. This is in quotes in the recap. Gave mad props to Strowman, saying that he beat the hell out of him, but when push came to shove, he put Strowman down with 4 stomps and a pedigree, thanking Triple H for that. Went on to talk about how he feels about the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, attacking him on stage. And then the Firefly Funhouse music interrupted. We saw Bray on screen, Rambling Rabbit, interrupting, telling Seth to run away as fast as he can. Wyatt got rid of him. And, just saying, hey, I'm coming for you, man. And that he might have more to say later in the night. So this really just set the tone, right? I mean, this was the...
Do you guys see that on our screen?
I do.
I know. I'm not sure how to get rid of it, actually.
I don't. I think that's cool.
There you go.
Oh, I thought that was cool.
Someone fire Raj. Here we go.
For picking people. Spell King of the Ring out. At least type KOTR. Jesus. What are you talking about, Ronnie?
Yeah. But, I think this tonight with Bray being a Firefly Funhouse show, I mean, really showed they're pot committed to Bray Wyatt and the Fiend.
I got pretty good. I got some good ribbon today on Twitter over that word.
Oh my God!
Why did he keep saying it?
I don't know.
Comfortable. He said it like 29 times. It would not stop. At the end of every sentence, he just kept saying the word pot commit. It was like a drinking game. He was playing by himself without drinking. It was it was weird.
It was something else, man. I go back and watch last night's Clash of the Champions coverage. Even if you don't watch Clash of Champions,
our
last
show
night's
was
coverage. Oh, it was epic last night. So this was a super heavy Bray Wyatt episode, right? I mean, now, is it true production-wise, Raj, were there maybe not some powers that be there tonight? Was Heyman actually running the show tonight?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I've been kind of out today. There was the Triple H conference call this morning, and it's been kind of a busy day. But yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I thought the promo work overall tonight was pretty good. I thought certain guys like Bobby Roode and others had some cool promo opportunities tonight that I wanted to hear. Alexa Bliss and her tag partner even. Those annoying coffee mugs that I can't stand. I don't get. I feel like I'm missing an inside joke, honestly.
Merchandising opportunity, that's all.
That I'm really old. Oh, Mills Lane. I'm good.
I'm going to throw some of these.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I thought like they took important people, not important people, but people that, in my opinion, importantly needed some more development, some layers to their characters or their storylines. Some of them were given time to talk tonight, and I liked that. I thought the King of the Ring final went way too long, though.
Yeah. And we'll get into it. So
Yeah.
I feel like a lot happened tonight, but I don't know. This was a very weird episode.
Yeah, I agree.
So we had this tag team summit. Oh, let's talk about this. The tag team summit tonight. The Raw tag team champions, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, out there, and then the SmackDown tag team champions, the Revival, Dash and Dawson.
I was loving life at that moment.
And they're out there talking a little smack, getting in each other's faces a little bit, and then wouldn't you know it, Braun Strowman, his music hits, he just comes and runs all of them out of there.
Yes, and he does look like Bud Bundy, by the way. Yeah, no, I good booking all the way around, right?
But wouldn't you argue, though, Matt? Now, we like Braun Strowman, and we like that he's looking strong, but isn't this sort of burying the tag team division?
Champions? Yes, it does, because they're the tag team champions. Yes, and there's multiples of them. Yeah. For that reason, yes. Yes, but I'm all in favor of the bigger star getting more over in the process. But the question is, did he get more over tonight versus them getting buried? Which way did that scale go? Did it go down so much for them being buried versus him being, raised up higher and getting over? No, I would say them getting buried was worse.
Well, and I would argue, to the point we talked about last night, Braun is so over, the only way to get him over further at this point is to put the Universal title on him.
Yes.
That's it.
Him and Bray in a Universal title feud. Seth is... I'm a big Seth fan, but he's just kind of there right now.
We said last night, Raj, or at least I said, Bray needs to stay away from that title. Being that
Yeah.
And they booked themselves in a corner here. They've got to figure out if something happens in this match versus Seth where he commits murder and goes to jail. Something crazy has to happen to get him out of this match without him losing, obviously. It can't be some weak DQ.
Yeah.
It's got to be something insane because that dude with the title, I just don't see him sitting there in 8x10s taking photos with the championship belt and all that other crap that your champion generally does.
Right, with the little icon on the side of the belt.
Oh, God, I will quit. I will quit life if we see that.
This is Fiend on the side.
Now, it was leaked for Hell in the Cell, the possibility of him versus Seth in the Cell match. People think that's going to happen. They didn't announce that tonight, though. Bray kept saying, I'm looking for a new friend, but they didn't make it out like, I'm coming for that title.
Well, they announced it earlier. I mean, the leaked advertising was, it's them in the Cell. It's the Cell match.
But that's card subject to change. I mean, they advertise stuff all the time that never happens.
Usually when it's a big star or something out of the blue like that, they stick with it. Otherwise it would be like Kofi versus Randy Orton is the kind of stuff that they advertise and change. But
the way they finished the show, it's very apparent that that's the friend he was looking for.
Certainly. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss were backstage sipping coffee, talking about their match with Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley happening later that night. Alexa, full baby face now.
Okay, don't you feel like she's setting her up, though? I thought it was way over the top, cheesy baby, and she's setting her up.
I hope so, because it's cheesy as,
like
AF, as the kids say.
As the kids do say. They do say that.
Yeah.
I thought it was over the top, almost on purpose, though. She's definitely turning on her eventually.
Yeah.
But don't you think part of that is sort of just show folk and acting? Like, if I'm going to be a good guy, I'm still going to enunciate and express and be animated. Like, it doesn't mean I'm just going to be.
It's what we talked about with you wanting the person, Bayley, who turned heel, to come out as Olivia Newton-John at the end of Grease.
That was not how I described it. That's how you described it. But
you know what I mean? Like that huge 180-degree turn overnight, which I'd rather see them develop into it, right? Like, they don't change their music, they don't change their entrance, they don't change their gear because now they're dark and they're evil. So same when somebody becomes a baby face. You know what I mean? Which Alexa Bliss is now doing. She's really over the top with it. Cheesy baby.
But wouldn't you argue in human nature and the human character and psyche that people turn evil in moments where they break bad, as it were, whereas to redeem yourself and become a better person is a slower and more gradual process?
I think it depends on what life throws at you. Death can happen. There's millions of different things that can happen that could get you to that place a lot quicker. We've not seen that with Alexa Bliss. We've just seen her just start tagging with somebody different, and all of a sudden, now she's a good person.
Which, by the way, that sounds like a babyface turn, like a segment, like someone's going to become born again, be meeting with Brother Love backstage, talk about I want to atone for my sins and become a better person.
I mean, you don't watch Game of Thrones, but if you watch Game of Thrones, there's a lot of characters on that show that kind of do the turns. Like one of the main guys, Jamie, went kind of from heel to babyface back to heel, and it was a gradual thing, but it always made sense while you're watching. It wasn't a drastic.
It did. They gave us a lot of layering to him inside of his head too, right? It always showed that one girl. What was the big woman he was always into? Through her, he showed the most sympathy and empathy, and he made you care about him finally as a face somewhat, right? You could see the sprinkles of him being a baby face. It's really so well done, that show.
Right, and you were just like rooting for him. You were totally against him the first season. Then, anyway.
So the OC tonight took on the Viking Raiders and Cedric Alexander. If this is some sort of push for Cedric Alexander, I'm waiting for the part where he looks good again.
Say who he wrestled against.
Well, the OC. He went against AJ Styles in the club, paired with the Viking Raiders. So right there, that's 2 strikes against Cedric looking cool to be paired with these Braveheart
with them. Yes, but I thought the Viking Raiders, if you didn't watch their entrance, didn't watch their ring gear.
Aside from that,
their actual wrestling though, I thought was really good tonight.
Sure.
I did. I thought it stood out actually. If I'm being that, I mean, if you get on people, you got to give them the props too when they deserve it. I thought they wrestled very well in their match tonight. But we're talking about Cedric going against AJ Styles. Any opportunities in the ring in opposition to AJ Styles, it's a good night for him.
It's better when he was picking up wins.
I mean, yeah, but not every week can you do that.
I don't think we're going to see him on a pay-per-view for the rest of the year for a while. It seems like they've cut the bait on him. Like he's not.
When did they really get behind him then? Because I was still waiting for it.
Well, I mean, he was getting, he was picking up wins. They were giving him a little bit of a push, but I don't know. It's completely gone now.
I think it was very impressive, and he got a lot of people's attention when he was picking up wins. I think they should have pivoted him to another feud rather than have him lose 2 nights in a row to AJ.
He's a talented guy. He is just bland as mayonnaise. I mean, he's just, that's just the truth. Yeah.
So he's got to get all these repetitions out of his system until he figures out who he is. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we get there a lot quicker when we're given TV time and TV matches, especially against bigger stars. So for some reason, you just get so comfortable.
Jesus.
Wow. Caleb Gazaway said Cedric Alexander's Ricochet without the charisma.
That's kind of
right. Yeah. Huh? So Ricochet does even cooler shit.
I don't know, man. Like at this point, what's worse, the Viking Raiders or the Dark Order in AEW?
Oh, good comparison. Okay, Dark Order is the drizzling shit.
Yeah. Viking Raiders are way better.
That would not have seen TV time in, I can't think of any indie fed I've ever worked. Nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally nowhere.
And that's the problem. And so to Matt's point, you could be the best wrestler on earth, but if you have, I mean, Matt, look at the gimmick you were stuck with for a while. It's like it overshadows everything.
Of course it does.
Yeah, and especially when it's a visual.
Or a lack of as well. I would argue too.
Well, and at least when you weren't cutting promos when they gave you the setter gimmick, at least you still looked good in the ring or moving good. But with the Viking Raiders, they got stupid paint on, and they're doing all this stuff.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they can't escape it at a certain point. And again, this is no fault on them. I blame WWE Creative for everything.
I think everybody knows that.
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, we saw WWE champion, 24/7 champion R-Truth and Carmella backstage, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame with Kane, Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. Okay, it was great to see Kane.
Yeah.
Great to see him back there. But what do you think with R-Truth when they're doing these extended segments and how Truth's gimmick is working for you in these extended segments?
What versus what?
I think when it's a little short,
he was going to wrestle if he wasn't doing this.
I think when they give him like 2 or 3 lines and it's short and he gets to like really good punchlines, right? Like he says something really funny and then we go to a pin or a chase or something like that's good. Mm-hmm. But these felt like they dragged on a long time tonight where he kept trying to set up these jokes and these misunderstandings. I don't know. I just thought these dragged on way too long with the comedy.
How many were there?
And what was this and the one on the field? But it felt like the whole thing, like with the misunderstandings. I don't know. I just think it's funny to me when they have a character that's confused, but I think they took it too far. Essentially, like they're almost making him dumber the longer these go on. You know what I mean?
I think R-Truth is the most over he's been in years. You know,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Since Little Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. In short bursts,
that was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like these went on a long time. I think we saw it coming that Kane was going to get the 24/7 championship. R-Truth was going to get it back, which is good. You know,
R-Truth. I mean, he is great in these. I hate, the title. It has its shelf life, but he has been great.
Let's be honest, though. They are utilizing it to put. We are being entertained by people that normally we're not entertained by, nor do they ever break dark matches, let alone get on TV. And they are. And I think some of them are being very somewhat entertaining, I should say, with it.
Yeah. I think a lot of weeks the 24/7 title has been the most entertaining thing on the show.
I mean, I hate to say it. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Because I hate the stupid chase center. I hate the Congo line more than anything. But the other stuff around it, like last week, Ennis Cantor, there was an NBA player in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy stuff that you're never going to expect. That part's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tonight, No Way Jose getting that Kit Kat money, doing a Congo line commercial with them.
What the heck? Yeah. Good on him.
Yeah. Hey, do you, when you were there, Matt, if you did something like that, did you get extra, or is that just all part of your downside?
You should get extra.
I would hope.
You should. I don't know how it is now. Then, yeah.
Yeah. I'm afraid their attitude is like, we own you.
Back in the day, I know like the autograph appearances and stuff were not paid for. Like that was included, and it wasn't until a little bit later on that they start paying you extra.
They pay them extra to do what, like access? You mean?
I just the autograph, like Cricket Wireless, where they go to those stores and appear. So
Wizard World.
Yeah.
Well, good. Those places should pay them to go do that.
Yeah, back in the day, they used to not get paid extra for that. That was considered part of the contract.
And that's what CM Punk talked about in his interview with Colt Cabana. I think in terms of I could go wrestle in Mexico for this amount of money on that weekend, or I could go to Wizard World and sit and sign autographs for that amount of money. His pay was the same either way.
Right.
Kind of nuts. Let's take a moment, thank the sponsor of this episode, which is SeatGeek. Oh, SeatGeek. Buying tickets. I was looking tonight. WWE is going to be at the Chase Center in San Francisco next week, Monday and Tuesday, for Raw and SmackDown. Seeing if there are seats available still through those other ticketing sites. And do you ever feel like ticketing websites make getting to the events difficult on purpose? It's like in the 90s. Raj, did you ever go to a rave? You have to like mail something into a guy, and they send you a playing card, and then you take that to a corner at this time, and then you find out where the warehouse where the rave's being held because they don't want the fuzz to catch wind.
Okay, maybe that was just literally the most unrelatable human being walking God's green earth with these analogies. No, the answer to that is no across the board. None of us. You better say no, Rod.
You never had like a glow stick and whistle phase, like
Actually, I have been to a rave, so
well, there you go.
I have been to a rave. All right.
So that's what the process is.
Why am I still doing this show? What either of you do?
Oh, I'm sorry that we weren't all busy painting Hulk Hogan action figures in our dorm room in our 20s,
cool.
Matt.
Way cooler. Not one girl said, "Oh, he's not cool. I'm walking out." Nope.
We needed to work harder.
Anyhow, getting tickets these days is almost as difficult as going to an underground rave. That's what they make it like. You have to go here, and do I have the code, and are they on sale at this time? And for credit card holders, I can get them at this time, but I have to come back 2 days later. Forget all that. SeatGeek. SeatGeek actually cares about the customer experience. They care about making it easy for you to get the tickets you want to the events that you want to see. They have millions of live event tickets and a price match guarantee. And SeatGeek has proved there is no better way to buy tickets. You could search sports, live music, comedy, wrestling, theater, and more. SeatGeek has the tickets you're looking for all in one place, and they stand out from the crowd. They've built the fastest way to find tickets, so you can stop searching for the perfect seat and just start enjoying it. What's awesome about SeatGeek is that they have 50,000 five-star reviews in the App Store, which is insane. It's more than almost any other app that I've ever used. And the customer satisfaction is through the roof. We get tweets all the time, people saying they love SeatGeek. Now, why do people love SeatGeek? It's because they pull together millions of tickets from all over the web. They rate each deal, each seat on a scale of 1 to 10, and they display them on an interactive seat map. If you've ever had that thing with wrestling, is number one on the ramp, or is it on the opposite side of the ramp? SeatGeek, interactive seat map. Boom, you're going to see exactly where we were sitting, exactly where we were going. And they break down the details. They give you a green dot if it's a good deal. Red dots are overpriced. So looking at SeatGeek tonight, amazing deals for Raw and SmackDown next week. Amazing deals for AEW shows that are upcoming. I'm going to use it for my next trip to New York. I'm going to definitely be using it when AEW comes out to California next year. Used it for All Out. It's just absolutely fantastic. Got me ramp side at Double or Nothing. Raj, what have you been going to lately?
So I went to Dave Chappelle and Jon Stewart a couple of weeks ago. I went to the Broncos yesterday, and we left the game thinking that they won. So we were like, woo! You've got the Broncos shirts on. We're like, yeah. And everyone's like, dude, what's wrong with you? And so they lost at the last minute in the last 10 seconds.
When did you leave?
We left about 2 minutes before the end of the game. So it was just like the last play where it was.
Well, clearly you jinxed their win by leaving, but when you thought they were winning and when you were enjoying it, and that's all thanks to SeatGeek, getting you into the event, getting you into the show. It's fantastic. I have the app on my phone. Anytime I want to see anything, SeatGeek is the first place that I go. Highly recommend it. And we've got a great deal for our audience. SeatGeek is going to give you $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. All you need to do is use our promo code. Download the SeatGeek app today and use the promo code INC for $10 off your first purchase. That's promo code INC for $10 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. And we thank them for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
They are great. If you ever buy tickets, just try it out first, because once I went, I've never gone back. So it's great stuff.
Oh man. So back to Raw tonight. We had the King of the Ring finals. Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. Not going by Shorty G yet, which just disappoints me the longer they wait to pull the trigger on that.
Well, hopefully we we swell up big enough, and WWE listens and doesn't do this to this kid, because it's going to be
a killer,
slow death for him.
You become Santino at that point once they do that.
It's not fair. That dude's like a world-class athlete. They need to work a little bit harder at creative. Sorry,
he was in the Olympics.
Like, come on, you can't find something for that. And he is charismatic. We've seen it. They've done that.
Yeah.
The hard part was, is this guy charismatic or not? Can we put him in an element where he brings his charisma out? They did with Jason. It wasn't just Jason Jordan, but it was the fact that he was in a tag team. They found something he was comfortable talking about between him and his partner. Wrestled great matches, if you guys remember. Somebody have L button.
Actually, it would be great.
But it's a shame. This dude's a world-class athlete, and who's a fan and actually has charisma. A lot of these guys don't have charisma. They're very vanilla. So that's on them. That's their job to figure this out. Do you know what I mean? It's not to get lazy and somebody makes a joke in passing and say, you know what, screw this guy and his career. This would be hilarious. Let's do this.
Well, as of July 15th, WWE has filed for a trademark for Shorty G in the field of professional wrestling.
Whatever. I feel bad. He's better than that.
Yes. Yep. I do think, sometimes, like, as lame as this sounds, but getting a haircut, it
never works. I've never seen it work.
He looks like
Baron Corbin.
He lost
Baron
charisma.
Corbin worked.
Oh, touche. Yeah.
Okay. He did. Some people it works, some people it doesn't. But like with Chad Gable, it doesn't work. Like he has lost charisma. It's like Carlito. When he cut his hair, he lost a lot.
When did he cut his hair?
There was a while after he left WWE, he cut his hair, and
he did.
Was just like I'm not sure if it's back. I think it's back now.
Dude, that's like me cutting 2 feet off of my body. It's like nobody would ever book me. Nobody would care.
Exactly. It's like Hulk Hogan if he had a crew cut. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
You think that's a wig, or you think that's still Hulk's real hair?
Come on.
I don't know. I think it's like a Bret Michaels. I think the bandana's hiding something,
Yes, nothingness.
Yeah, he's been bald up there forever.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You think he has hair under there, Glenn?
I don't know. I didn't think Bret Michaels did, and then I was looking at photos online, and people are like, "Oh no, that's how he hides the wig, is with the bandana."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hogan's not wearing. If he wore a wig, he'd put it on top of his head.
Plugs. He's always had plugs.
Anyhow, tonight Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. Baron Corbin, like, this was one of his best matches tonight, and he won clean.
I should hope so. I should hope so. And honestly, I love the fact that Corbin won. He's gonna do some funny stuff with this. I think some good heel development with it as well. He believes who he thinks he is, which makes this work even more. Oh, Blake, shame on you, fan Blake. Who's Bret Michaels? Terrible. But no, seriously, it's going to work for his character. I like it. I like that this tournament was in a way to get him over, and I think it did, and it will even more so after the fact. But I thought this match was too long, if I'm being honest, because it was with a guy nobody cares about.
Ooh, but I think they had to protect
the
him.
The announcers did a great job of making us. They tried their damnedest to make us care about him.
Yeah.
But for me, we both know that because the name you just said tells me they don't care about him that much.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah. I mean,
real quick, Joker Gregory, is that your real face with like faith paint on?
I'm terrified.
If people aren't watching the video of this podcast, you are missing out on so much.
You have to watch. Yeah, guys, you cannot listen to the show without watching it. You have to watch this.
Yeah. Corbin has looked really good lately. I feel like it's just clicking with him.
It is good. Yep.
The new gear, his matches. I mean, granted, he is working with some great guys, but his matches lately have just been. It's clicking.
His timing, he does some cool power moves. His power moves are not kind of cliche, big guy stuff. Like he does some pretty cool original stuff too. His power moves. And people, it's badass.
Yep. And people already ingrained hate him, so he's already got that heel heat. I mean, it's clicking.
And he didn't wilt. Every guy nowadays, Raj, they wilt when fans legit hate you. And they start trying to do, I need to do something that's cool or flashy and make them like me again, but boo me when I want them to.
Right.
It's the craziest thing, but that's how heels are nowadays.
They try to be cool.
He loves the fact that they legitimately hate him.
He's an old school heel. Like he wants the boos and he soaks it up and he's legit hated. There's not many people like that.
And he doesn't wimp out. He's got thick enough skin to take it.
Yeah.
It was good. And they were really making a point to make Gable look strong tonight. It took a lot for him to be beat. They were really putting him over on commentary, his tenacity and his fight. I think if they give him a good story after this, and that's the problem. It's the big if. Corbin has got a locked-in gimmick. He's got someplace to go. Chad, who the hell knows?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And Chad has got to stay the hell away from that name.
Yeah.
As well. It's another part of this equation.
And stay away from 205 Live. Notice tonight they billed him at what, 203?
I told you guys. I told you guys Corbin was winning.
Oh man, this was a really good match. I thought tonight this was definitely a high point of the show. And then we went to what was arguably a low point, the gender reveal party for Mike and Maria Kanellis' baby, hosted by the Street Profits.
The first second you heard that there was a gender reveal party, come on, guys. We were immediately like, oh, poor Mike. Oh my God, this is poor Mike.
So she reveals the gender. It's a boy. She then says she's going to reveal the father, says it's Ricochet.
Yes. I did not see that, for the record.
Yeah, Angelo Dawkins saying the father might also be him after. But this leading to a match between Ricochet and Mike Kanellis, where Mike really doesn't. This was just bad.
And it got on, in my opinion, it got some on. Yeah, I agree, Ronnie. I really quick though, I didn't like Ricochet being a part of any of this. Actually.
Oh no, it was terrible, and they think.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like, this is all I kept thinking was, remember a couple months ago, what have we been saying since he called his main roster? Oh, they see big things for Ricochet. Ricochet is going to be a top guy. Then Ricochet is in this segment. Cole called Mike a loser. Corey Graves called him a beta cook. It was
Can I just say that's awesome, Tammy? That is coming from a girl totally big dogging it. And Michael Cole, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then after this, Ricochet beats Mike quickly. Mike's like, whatever, I don't care. Ricochet leaves. Maria comes out and says, I'm going to tell you now who the real father is. It's not Ricochet. Builds up the reveal, and it's Rusev coming back with his new look, sporting a mustache, and no Lana in tow.
What's your opinion on that?
I mean, I liked Lana. I'm curious if they're going to involve her in this angle or if she's off TV for a while now.
I meant for Rusev. I get you
Oh.
like Lana. All right? get in line. But what I mean for Rusev.
This seems like squandering. I mean, okay, so Rusev was so over with Rusev Day. Like, so over with that. And so much goodwill. So they're bringing him back now in this heel position, and he squashed Mike Kanellis tonight. I don't know, man. Like, wouldn't if you were Rusev and you got Rusev Day so over, and then you came back tonight for this, wouldn't you feel just this was a slap in the face? Because they would think they would sell this to you like this was a hot angle. And
dude, our fans are the best. I'm just throwing that out there. They're hilarious. Sorry. But I agree with Mandy that he did look. I thought Rusev looked very good tonight. I did. I thought he looked like a monster.
He looks a little too pretty, doesn't he? Like with the mustache and. I don't know,
so you think they're going to go comedy?
I just feel like his size and everything.
You think this is a serious angle he's in?
Well, no, I think eventually. No, but I think eventually.
I just mean like in general, like he's got that. He just looks very 1950s Italian actor. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Mike. Sorry, definitely a porn mustache.
He looks in great shape.
Yeah. I don't get it either. Like him, Zack Ryder, and others, they do the exact thing that you're told to go do. And nowadays, I would argue it's even more impossible to go out and do in such a contrived, formulaic fan audience experience now. Think about it. Our fans, they're conditioned to certain things being in order and going a certain way. And for you to get a legitimate babyface reaction, and not because it's because you flip-flop and fly and kill yourself and light yourself on fire, but it's because of your character, it's very rare. So here, Rusev went out and did that in spades. Remember the point where I kept questioning it and saying, hey, guys, I think it's just a chant. They're cheering for it. It's funny. Haha. They're going to do it for like another few months. Let's see where it is 6 months from now. It lasted the whole time. It was him.
Yeah.
So he passed with flying colors of what used to be considered a main event test. I'm being dead serious. If somebody's chanting for you like that, like crazy, rabidly, for that long, you had no chance. They had no choice when they had like serious competition, gun to their head to say, well, the fans want him. We got to put him on TV. Got to start highlighting this guy. Now it's not like that.
Yeah, I feel like it was after the Attitude Era where they stopped, where they felt like if someone's getting over on their own, they feel like they have to stop it.
Yeah.
You know, like they have to, you know,
and
Matt Hardy, all these guys in the past.
And I don't want to hear this crap, Raj, that they would try to put out there and say, well, because it didn't fit, we book 6 months out in advance, a year in advance. No, they don't. No, they don't. If they did, it's okay, great, but they don't.
Yeah, that Roman Reigns storyline would have been much more. You know. So
there's no excuse for it. It doesn't throw a monkey wrench in their plans for the next 6 months to a year if somebody over suddenly gets hot. Their job is to find out who that guy is. Well, not who that guy is, but bottle what that guy just did and find a way to produce more of it. And if it's not hard to produce because the person's getting that over, a la back in the day with Zack Ryder, I would argue, your job is then to feature them. How hard is that?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
It's weird. But this is a way to get people to stop chanting Rusev Day, right? I mean, this is a dramatically different angle.
Why would you want them to stop chanting anything? Vince says he wants a reaction, good or bad. He doesn't want indifference or nothing, right? So there you go. He's chanting something. The fans are chanting something. Why would you extinguish it?
They just lose money off of that. That was a hot seller. They were, it was something, and they just pissed it away.
It's going to catch up. I don't know if we'll be around for it. I don't know if we'll be alive even. It will catch up to them one day. There's this complacent bull crap of theirs where they think they can just push whoever they want to push, who they think they need to push versus listen to what the fans want. Daniel Bryan is smack in their face, quite frankly.
Yeah, Vince McMahon is going to outlive us all. Out of spite, Vince McMahon is going to outlive us all.
He is going to be frozen. Yeah. And then come back like 25 years from now or something like that.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
My daughter's grandchildren will be like, oh, that Vince McMahon's still around.
People will be saying, when he dies, it's all going to be different. Right. Oh, man. After that tonight, Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio.
And Vince doesn't get enough credit, but he made... we would not be here right now.
Wait, Vince doesn't get enough credit. Like
he doesn't. He doesn't.
Really?
He gets a lot... In today's wrestling world, it's all AEW does everything right. Vince is, just an out of touch.
Let me ask you something. And I love him. I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to be a marker or whatnot and put myself over. I had a good relationship with him. I really genuinely liked him, and I still do. With that said, name one thing over the last 5 years that he's been responsible for that's been good.
I would say the last 20 years. It's hard to come up with something, but
come on, you're patting somebody who won the Super Bowl friggin' 25 years ago in the back still.
Yeah, no.
And I would argue those
he's out of touch.
those talents pushed him equally.
Yeah.
Those
for sure.
Top-notch talents, Stone Cold, Rock, Undertaker, all of them, they pushed him too. Kevin Nash, the Click, even when they're saying you need to start using real storyline. Vince didn't come up with that on his own. They told him he needs to do that. Yeah. And because he kicked Sean's ass, he listened to him. And then they started to go that route a little bit more, right? With real situations and real names and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are bringing up John Cena, things like that, but the fact is that WWE has dropped in popularity every year pretty much for the last 20 years. It's been a consistent decline. It's like Game of Thrones. This last season was the most popular that they've had as far as ratings and stuff. So people complain about it, but the fact is, it was more popular than ever. WWE has not been more popular than ever. It's been on a consistent decline.
But go back even Game of Thrones, for instance. When the first season was done, what did everybody want to see more of? Peter Dinklage. Everybody did. And what happened? They started to create more storylines for him that they were not going to create for him originally. He was not going to be one of the top 2-3 stars on that show. He wasn't going to be booked that way.
He was awesome.
He was amazing.
But it was based on the book, so I don't know. Like,
that book? I would not. I read it too. I would not consider him a top 2, top 1 featured like TV time wise. And no way. Yeah, not to that degree. Stark would take up the majority of it. You would think, and I would argue Peter Dinklage gave him a good run for his money, being the main draw to that show.
Yeah.
Listen to the fans. That's my point.
Yeah.
Vince is not listening to the fans.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite arguable. And I don't think he cares about credit. I think he cares about money.
And I would say Breaking Bad, too. That was another show. Every season, it went up and up and up. So you can make these excuses like, people are finding new ways to consume media and watching TV. But these shows, when they're hot, they're going up. And WWE and football is up this season already.
Here's how you know. All right. When I'm in like a room, when I go to these events, I have something honestly usually every day. If not every day, every night, where there's an event I go speak at, right, as the mayor of Longwood, and around other politicians every single day. And when there's a new one that hasn't met me yet, and they'll come up and they'll talk about Hulk Hogan, The Rock, maybe the Stone Cold, One from the Blue Moon. Do you really think any of them are going to go, so what's the Seth Rollins kid like? No. That's not a knock on Seth Rollins. It's it's where they're at currently today. It's not what it was when we were in college, and you're throwing dorm party, keg parties, and cheerleaders and dance team are coming to watch it because it's the coolest thing going. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what mainstream across the board goes. And that's my judge. That's my barometer on how well they're doing. Because it is hard to do with it. The network now, Raj. They have all these other outlets. It is hard for me to look at and say, well, are they successful or not? They're making more money, but they also have more outlets to utilize and create more money for me as well, to be fair.
Exactly. It seems like there's more ways for them to get these names out there. But we saw it with Kevin Owens. Once he starts getting somewhere and they just bury him and chop his nuts off.
I hate to keep burying the writing, but it is the writing a lot of this.
Yeah.
So Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio. Everyone was commenting online about what Cesaro was wearing tonight. I thought it was Aiden English at first. I'll be honest. I didn't recognize Cesaro in pants.
He's trying. He's trying anything he can.
Good for him, man. I don't know how his spirit's not been broken. Yeah. He's another one. He passed the test. He did grab the brass ring. We watched it versus John Cena. That was his money-making, main event-making moment. Where was the follow-up?
He got super over, and then they put him in a weird coat and paired with Paul Heyman. It was just so random. They just destroyed it. But
it's frustrating. So God bless him for coming up with something different, trying to look a little different. I don't blame him.
Yeah. And Rey Mysterio won the match.
But of course he did. And Claudio Castagnoli used to wear pants.
Rey is starting to look a little older, I feel like. It's starting to catch.
His work, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah.
Better though than he did before he had the knee surgeries.
He's still Rey freaking Mysterio.
Ray is great. Yeah. I mean, Ray is. He's a legend. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But you do see him slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, he's being a lot more. He's being a lot safer too with what he's doing out there. It started a while back. Remember when he started doing like the thing off the top rope? It was just a boring splash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It got over. It's gotten over, but it's not his little flippy doos that he always used to do in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of Breaking Bad, we saw a vignette for the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, very reminiscent of the Salamanca cousins from Breaking Bad in their new suits.
I dug this. You guys didn't like it?
I did.
I liked it.
It's something.
It is something.
And they look like killers. Like they look badass.
Time they look like killers.
Yeah.
They should murder Drake Maverick the first thing when they came back.
Eat him.
No, I like this. I like that they're bringing everyone back, rebuilding them a little bit. I think they could be an awesome tag team. But hey, maybe don't have your champs in the division get buried by Braun Strowman. Yeah. It's got to be tough.
I do.
Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, with Sasha and Bayley picking up a win here.
Why was it non-title?
I think this is how they're going to earn their title shot if they go this route, right? Isn't this normally the formula? Like we beat the champs, necessarily get a champ shot.
Yeah.
But with Sasha, so what happened after this match? Becky came out with a chair. Charlotte came out with a chair. They were beating on Bayley and Sasha. And after the match, Sasha challenged Becky to a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship in Hell in a Cell, ending the promo.
I will repeat, she has to win. She being Sasha.
Yeah.
Has to. And I can't believe I'm saying it because Becky so always white hot, right? As far as everything she does and all her mannerisms or promos generally, right? They brought it out. They booked these two together. And Sasha came back red hot, and edgy, I thought. So, like, what do? You bring her in her first angle, she loses?
Right.
Can't do that.
Where do you go after that? Like, who do you got waiting? You got no one.
No, she has to win this, actually.
Yeah.
Because didn't you guys say that she's going to SmackDown as well?
Well, the popular theory is that Becky is going to SmackDown.
She's featured in the promos and stuff, but.
Did you see her commercial, by the way, on ESPN?
No, not yet.
No.
Really well done, actually.
Not the one with Roman Reigns and Kofi, right?
No, it's when she's at the cash register at the checkout line.
Oh, yeah. The sports area.
Yeah, you don't know who I am? And then she cut like really a rocket buster promo.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. But yeah, I agree. Sasha should win this Hell in a Cell. That could easily be the match of the night at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yes, last night was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch that after this.
Oh,
I heard
that's what you got to see, dude. Even the finish is pretty cool.
Yeah, I started watching the pay-per-view and I was like, man, this is so slow. And I tweeted out and everyone's like, that's the one match you got to watch.
Yeah.
What was up with the fan? You guys saw this on Twitter today? The fan that was on the ramp that when Becky threw Sasha over the ramp, like reaching out like he was trying to touch Sasha's butt.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
The GIF's all over online. He didn't actually make contact. But it's just, it's the cringiest thing I've seen in ages.
It's an adult or a little kid?
It's an adult man who's in the front row.
Can you get in trouble for that?
People, I don't do the whole thing. People are like trying to identify him and call him out. But people were vocal about
it. Are they going to dox him, brother? Are they going to dox him?
We're living in that age.
Well, you guys saw what happened with Scarlett Bordeaux like earlier this summer, right? In Mexico. Did you guys see that?
What? No, say that again.
Scarlett Bordeaux, yeah. This fan reached over and was rubbing her stomach. It was super creepy.
If there's a female wrestler watching this right now, you have the green light to turn around and break his nose.
Elbow him in the face.
As fast as you can, and you get to get away with it. That's how this works. Anybody jumps that rail or reaches over that rail, you get to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I didn't catch it last night during the match, but today it was all over Twitter. And yeah, why? Look, here's the deal. I don't like it when fans pat male wrestlers on the back either. Like when they're walking
or in an aggressive manner, trying to, be cute or hurt them. If they're doing it because they're a fan of them, that's one thing. But
Right.
But I think here's what is acceptable. You are allowed to stick your hand out, and if the wrestler wants to, they can stick their hand out and touch your hand. That is the acceptable physical interaction at a wrestling show.
I was watching Attitude Era, Stone Cold, all right? And he got on the headset, right? And these fans behind him are like rabid. They're like grabbing his traps and trying to like massage him like extra aggressively. He turns around, covers the mic, and you could tell he cursed him up something lethal. But like it happened multiple times.
Well, if you watch wrestling in the 80s, remember with the aisles were so narrow. So it was it was all people just patting the wrestlers on the back and it was a different time.
This is ridiculous. Someone tried to touch her butt.
Yeah. It's like you can see it on Twitter. It's very awkward, like very bad. Not
funny.
as bad as Scarlett in Mexico. That was like
I gotta go look all this up now.
Egregiously terrible. But thought that was a notable thing we didn't talk about last night on the show. They followed up tonight that face off in the announcement of the Hell in a Cell match with Lacey Evans versus Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke getting a match on Raw again.
No. About time Lacey Evans gets put back out there and gets attention again.
Well, no, for Lacey, yeah, but for Dana, like, when's the last time Dana wrestled on Raw?
You being the keeper of the Dana Brooke fan club of one,
I like Dana.
I would imagine you know the answer to that.
I know.
Been a while.
We should be asking you this.
I'm-
apparently she has wrestled Sarah Logan 7 times on Main Event.
Wow.
In like the last 3 months.
Another reason why they need a female show. They desperately do. They've got the goods for it now. They do. They've got the depth. I was saying this last night, Raj. I swear to God, I said this, and we said it earlier too, many, many months ago after the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. What's next? Remember what it was? We were saying there needs to be women tag division, but like literally in the same sentence. We also said TV show. Yes, I remember doing that. But after last night's show as well, I was like, they need more time. There's so many other women that I want to see more of now.
Yeah. But unless they got a platform, then WWE just
why can't they use
treats
the
it like
network?
nothing else. Yeah, but you see how 205 Live is, right? They don't.
Okay, but is that because there's a bunch of side show short people? I can't say my normal joke no more. Damn, 2019.
I know.
But you know what I'm saying? Is that I'm being serious though. I think the interest of women's wrestling is much higher.
And look at the money NXT got from USA. We talked about this last night. I bet you they could probably get $100 million a year if they did a women's wrestling show and sold it to E. No, you don't think they would?
You don't think E? I thought I thought it was a great idea. E.
Dude, NXT is $30 million. That was actually a pretty decent deal.
But with the success from the Diva show, Bellas, you don't think that's a natural fit to put that on E channel?
They probably could, but it would be like I bet you it'd be like $5 to $10 million at most.
An hour long. The show would be an hour long if this was my show.
I don't know, man. We're in a time of crazy money. Stranger things have happened.
AEW is getting nothing. Like they're splitting rights fees. I mean, they're getting zero right now. It's splitting advertising revenue. So
really,
so Lacey Evans won that match with the
XFL is getting nothing as well. Like that's also
wait, what?
XFL is getting $0 in rights fees. It's all revenue share.
Okay.
So Lacey won with the sharpshooter, and then we had Seth Rollins versus Robert Roode in the main event tonight.
We're not going to talk about the fact that Lacey used a sharpshooter.
I mean, she's calling out Natalya. It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean,
no big deal. Thanks. It's chill.
I finally noticed she said, I was like, Lacey Evans, the way she dresses, who does it remind me of? And then finally I was like, oh, Minnie Mouse, which makes sense because she is the classiest animated character.
She actually is. Yeah, you're right.
I could kind of see that.
So main event time. Seth Rollins versus Robert Roode. We all know where this is going.
Why are you giggling?
Some of these comments on here. There's a lot we're not putting on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Like Raj never pays. Is this the first time you've seen the chat room, Raj? I look at this every time.
I did not know that we can put it on the screen.
I'd never get to see it. I don't know how you guys do it. I've never watched any of our chat rooms. That's funny. Now I will. You got to keep throwing it up on the screens too. I think fans will like it. Really quick. Main event. What'd you think?
I mean, this was we were just waiting for the Fiend, and I think they swerved us by having Kane come out first.
Yes. Okay, they didn't swerve. No, I still thought he was eating one.
Yeah.
He was eating a mandible claw no matter what.
The OC came out. So yeah, Rollins got DQ'd, or no, he won by DQ when Ziggler interfered in this match. The AJ and the OC came out. It was a 5-on-1 brawl on Rollins. Then Kane came out, and then the Fiend came out, attacked Kane, and then got up in Seth Rollins's face after, with Seth in the corner. Kind of a different camera angle, different look with this.
I was very nervous as they were shooting that, Glenn. I was like, if they show Seth, is it going to look weird because it's like a real body, a real human being, right? It's not with a mask with the lights playing off of that mask, flashing the way they do, look awesome. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, is it going to look weird? Because they usually don't show the human. I keep saying human, but they don't show the other wrestler, the dude without the mask, right? Without any kind of paint on their body or anything like that. It's just their skin. Is it going to play the same way with those flashing lights hitting 100 miles an hour? Or is it going to look hokey? And if it does, it's going to screw Bray. I'm so worried about how they book him because they have something so special at a time where they're not doing a damn thing special. They're doing the opposite of something special. And this just walked into their lap.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so terrified they're going to bone it. And I pray that they don't, because I am entertained by it. I was not entertained, like I told you at the beginning of the show, how this show ended, sitting in a Firefly funhouse.
Yeah.
You know, character, whatever you want to call it, cartoon screen for friggin' 3 minutes or whatever how long it was. It got old super fast.
Yeah, I get what they were going for with it, but too much.
What were they going for?
Did you watch like Channel Zero on Sci-Fi? There've been stuff like this. Even It did this a little bit in the It Chapter 1, where they do like the kid show thing, and the idea is you keep playing the creepy version of the kids' music, and it just sets the tone. But to go out on that, I don't know.
But for so long.
No, it did go on excessively long.
And I think it took away from the organic feel of it when they cut to the Firefly Funhouse commercial, you know, the graphic, you know, and they just kept playing that.
They got to play up his special powers. Like, he can magically make all this crap happen.
Just make that ending violent, you know. And I know I got a lot of shit for saying that Randy Orton should RKO Kofi Kingston's kid, but
NWO RAW.
But you know,
want a 180-degree heel turn, Glenn? There it is. That was Raj.
Just beating up children.
People remember it.
Why not you go further? Why not have them with the Connors Cure kids out there and have Randy Orton just clean house? You know,
the worst. Hashtag the worst, Glenn.
You went too far.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, hang on, real quick though. Don't you think they should have shut it off right when he was creeping up, like in his face? You know what I'm talking about, you guys?
Exactly.
Like, slowly creeping up to Seth Rollins in the corner. Seth did a good job cowering, I thought, actually.
Yeah.
I thought it looked cool. And then boom, that's it. Go to black.
Yeah, and it keeps you interested.
Did he get his hands on him? We don't know.
Right.
Did he eat his head? I don't know.
That's what wrestling used to do. Is they, you know, wanted you tuning into next week. It was always a cliffhanger. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
So
you don't think so, Glenn?
No, I think it's good. I think they made a very believable job of making Seth look afraid, but but that runs the risk. Remember, like I told you last night. So, Raj, my idea for Seth to make this a non-title thing is to have Seth like almost lose the title on purpose to Braun Strowman, because Seth's like, well, if you're just coming after the championship, now I'm out of it. But then Bray turns around and says, I don't care about the championship, Seth, I'm coming for you. And that's how we get Bray out of the title picture. But that'd be too much of him being a chicken. But I think tonight he looked shook. He looked very, very shook tonight by this.
Which is good.
It is, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why not just go all the way with it then?
Why did they show him being a wuss, I see what you're saying, and weak or whatever you want to call it, for Braun to have gone over?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Braun should be champion.
Yeah. Bray does not need the title belt, and
no.
I think it's painting themselves into a corner.
They could have went. I was with Raj last night. I don't know if you caught our show, but like we were saying how it would have been better if something happened where what's his name wins, Braun wins, and then after he gets his big win, you know, Bray starts something up with Seth.
Yeah.
Very simple, gets everybody out of it, and more importantly, gets Bray away from that title. Bray does not need that title. I'm petrified if he wins a title, it's actually going to hurt him. That's how over he is with me right now. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Right. But he shouldn't lose either.
No, he should definitely not lose. What I'm saying is he could go in a different direction with Seth had they dropped the title to what's his name last night. Yeah. Therefore, now it doesn't have to be for the title. He can eat Seth alive and not have this 20 pounds this 20 pounds of a noose around his neck now with that title, because that's what it will be for him. He does not need it. They're going to make it too cute. They're going to do stupid stuff with him with that title, and he does not need it. It's going to hurt him, I think. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
I've never said that about a talent, ever, that the heavyweight championship of the world is actually going to hurt them.
I mean, I thought the same thing with the Undertaker when I was a kid when he won the title. I was like, it doesn't fit, you know.
Yeah.
It's you're beyond that.
Like, is he going to wear it on his waist? Like,
right?
Did Taker wear it on his waist? I don't believe so. I don't remember when he first won it the first time.
Did he ever? I don't think he ever wore it around his waist.
I don't believe so.
I can't even picture him going to the ring with the belt right now.
I got to be honest, and I'm the biggest Taker mark on the planet.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think this is for me even creepier and further out there. Yeah. And even Taker was back in his time when we were.
Oh yeah.
And he was scary to me when I was little. He was. His eyes, and I didn't know that was makeup. You know what I mean? I thought something was,
Right.
So he was scary to me as a little kid. But and this dude was scarier, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
There are pictures of him with a title. These can't all be photoshopped.
Is he wearing it around his waist when the first title run is what I'm saying?
There's one around his waist, but I can't tell if somebody did this or if it's official.
Babyface Taker, I could see it in his early days, but I don't know about Heel Taker, who didn't really talk to him.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, with Bray, no need whatsoever for him to have this.
No.
So, talking about it, it seems better than it was watching it. The entire show.
It's always that way.
Yeah. It's just kind of tonight. I preferred last night's pay-per-view. Last night's pay-per-view wasn't great, but I like the promise of last night.
Last night was better.
Yeah.
I listened to you guys last night when I was coming home, and I totally get the whole thing of not watching the show and just listening to the podcast because you get it all, and you know it saves you 4 hours.
So if people want to start paying us $9.99 a month, we'll just tell you about the pay-per-views.
Right.
We'll watch WWE programming and relay it to you. What happened?
Which is what we do now.
Tons of segues and diversions.
Which is what I need to do to find out my news nowadays. I gotta go on YouTube to watch people that will watch CNN, the CNNs of the world for me, so I don't have to watch them.
Oh,
shots fired, Glenn. Shots fired.
Let's not jump in this that pool.
We never finished. So, white privilege, does it exist?
No. Oh my lord,
Glenn.
My head's about to literally explode right now. End the show, Glenn.
What else do we got, Raj? We never talked about the Big Cass situation. What happened over the weekend?
Yeah, so we got an interview. This is kind of bad timing. I interviewed Big Cass on Thursday. And,
what did he do?
He was talking about how he's turned his life around and he's in great shape. And he talked about how his...
Did he relapse or something?
Yeah, so on Saturday night, he was at a WrestlePro event and... I went haywire. He was erratic. Apparently, he either slapped Joey Janela or challenged him to a fight. Was accusing wrestlers of stealing his sweater. Pat Buck, it was his farewell show. Eventually stepped in and punched Big Cass out. The cops got involved. There were photos of him outside. As the cops were questioning him, and they said. Yeah, he just seemed very erratic, so they sent him to the hospital. So I don't know what it is.
That sucks, honestly. That's terrible. I feel bad for him.
It's awful.
I feel bad for him too. I mean, he's got all the potential in the world. He's got a good look, the size, everything. And I mean, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. But at some point, keep making those steps forward. And
he won't see this, but if by any chance he does, dude, reach out to me. I've helped get 62 pro wrestlers off of pills, drugs, alcohol. I've gotten few off of heroin that nobody knows about. I would gladly, in a heartbeat, be willing to help you for what it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, it's heartbreaking given, especially Raj, as you said, all the progress he made to going down and spend time with DDP, talking about his depression. No, I want nothing but the best for him. And I worry about this type of behavior, having lost friends and loved ones to depression. This is not the sign of being on the right track.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so he was at another event on Friday night and he was fine. So I don't know if it didn't sound like he was It was alcohol. It sounded like
Oh.
I don't know if it was a reaction to something. He did tell me like in our interview that seizure he had last year was due to alcohol withdrawal. And,
Oh, wow.
And that caused it. So
Wow.
I don't know if he's taking any medication for that, and maybe he mixed that with something.
So okay, so he's not known to take pills and stuff like that.
I mean,
What happened to him last time? It was just strictly depression.
he was saying that was all just alcohol withdrawal. So
Alcohol withdrawal. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Well, we wish him the very best and hope that he gets back on the right path sometime as soon as possible. Yeah, terrible turn of events. Is there anything else, Raj? I feel like is there something maybe not quite as heavy to go out on here?
NXT this Wednesday night. Now it's going live on the WWE Network. We're on a call with
Tomorrow
Triple H.
night.
Wednesday night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tomorrow.
This is the week where I was kind of surprised how low key the promotion has been for NXT. Right? Like you would expect. Like I thought they were gonna have NXT stars on Raw.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like really pushing it, and it's just kind of like these regular spots. So it's been kind of low key. I don't know if they're gonna wait a couple weeks or what, but you would not know by watching Raw tonight that NXT was debuting in 2 days on national television.
Good point.
No, we'll see. Tomorrow night SmackDown,
Yeah.
Yeah,
NXT on Wednesday. So Raj, you're not joining us again this week. It'll be me, Matt, and Justin LaBar.
That's right.
Why?
Eating
Why?
grapes and making you guys put up with Justin.
Did you say eating grapes? Captain over.
Okay, there you have it.
The Luke Harper thing, by the way, also someone brought that up in the chat. That was a very last minute thing. He was contacted on Friday night, and so it was very last minute. But
Good for him. Can't wait to see if they give him something tomorrow night. What do you got to plug on the site, Raj? What's coming up?
the Big Cass interview. The timing's a little off, but yeah, man, he talks about all the stuff that he's been through the last year or so, and yeah, I mean it's not easy. It's a tough road, and he's trying to fight it. So best for him.
And if it is, I don't have any idea what it is. If it's just depression or whatnot, we're not saying we know. But let's say it is addiction. I'll tell you, as an addict, every day it's something that you struggle with.
Yeah.
Every single day, 13 years sober, still it's always right there. So even though this happened to him, people are still going to want to hear that interview. And it's not to make a cheap plug, but it'll be a good way to get inside this guy's head for a lot of fans, or maybe some other addicts out there that need help, maybe for all we know. And there's still going to be hopefully a happy ending at the end of his story, at the end of this chapter that he's having to go through. Yeah. And who knows, that interview, there might be some insight. You don't know. So I suggest everybody listen to it.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, we will see you back here tomorrow night to talk about SmackDown on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.
Good job in the comment sections, guys.
Yeah, we need to do that more.
Every show.